Underground radio.
What does it mean to be underground? It means you gotta be free to be underground. Yo, you got your own key when you're underground. If you're listening to me, yo, you underground.
Welcome everyone to Connected with Cari here, season 11. First of all, I just want to add that in there because my guest with me has been like one of my original guests, and it's been 5 years since we last saw him. So this is pretty cool. But we are live through the Underground Radio C Facebook platform, YouTube as well. We are also live through JessTV, JessFM. We are live through the 101 app on your RokuTV. No, it's not a secret, but you can go over to your beautiful, lovely RokuTV, find the app that says 101. You can download it. And from there, there's a great menu of wonderful, amazing radio stations. And you can go through and you can find JessTV there and you can download it. And then you can watch all the shows here, which include miscellaneous movies that happen through the week. Sometimes they're on the weekends and they're not like the old school movie. Well, okay, there's classic movies, but there's also new movies, which also brings me to my guest as well, because as you know, he may or may not have produced a couple of little things. So we're going to dive into that. Also, I just want to say thank you everyone for always tuning in. You guys are so amazing and so wonderful. I know Saturday nights, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you know, you're out, you're doing the things and whatever. But now that, you know, we're digging into November, we've been so blessed with amazing weather here in Calgary. It's so beautiful. We haven't had much snow yet. This is great news. Like, I mean, okay, if you love snow, that's fine. Snow is great. It's the driving. People don't know how to drive in it. It's okay. That's another topic for another day. So I'm just happy that we've had amazing weather. So that is so good. So if you're out and about, go ahead, do your things. You can always catch the replay on this as well, which I always do appreciate you guys doing. It's so amazing. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Also the JessFM, JessTV, YouTube as well, and our Facebook pages as well. We always appreciate that. Also, I want to say thank you to everyone who's also been tuning in to the Shift Happen show with Dina and myself every other Wednesday. We just finished up season 6. So in a few weeks, we're going to start up season 7 with that. We're going to do like a little wrap-up party, a little Christmas wrap-up party. And then we'll also talk a little bit on, you know, Christmas finances and things like that, which I will also have a pretty cool guest in December to also discuss our Christmas finances. You may or may not have seen him on TV, and he's a financial advisor, but that's not my guest tonight. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest. If you have not seen any of my captions or posts floating around, you must have been living underneath a rock, but that's okay, because some of you may or may not be on social media. That's all right. And maybe you may not have guessed it, but my guest, was on about 5 years ago. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome in the most amazing A.w Tony Scott. First of all,
hi, Cari. And
is it almost wonderful or always wicked, or like what's the A.w stand for?
A.w is Anthony Wayne, which
Wayne.
Only my mother called me for Mad General Anthony Wayne from the American Revolutionary War, who I believe may have actually fought against the Brits in Canada. So there you go.
Okay, bye.
No, we're happy to fight the Brits, to get the Brits.
Oh, just the Britons. Okay, well.
The Canadians themselves. The Canadians, we're happy with. We like Canada. Love Calgary. Don't love the snow. Sorry. I mean, unless I'm on the slopes. That's a different story.
You're a slope person, are you? I don't, I did like skiing in phys ed. Back in phys ed 30, we did like cross country skiing. That was kind of like my little intro to it. And I was not good. I had zero balance. I was so scared. I'm like, I have no control. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Look, I didn't pick up skiing until I was 40 years old because skiing Mississippi is not a concept. Okay. I grew up in Mississippi. There's not even a hill in Mississippi. I think that the highest hill in Mississippi is like 800 feet, and we basically no snow whatsoever. So, you know, it was quite a concept to go up and see snow when I moved to Chicago first, and freeze my tuchus off. And then when the winds come whipping off the plains from Calgary in the Midwest. Right?
Oh my goodness! But did you water ski?
I did badly, but that's a whole nother story. My time in the water was mostly competitive swimming, so I didn't really want to spend a lot of time in the water doing anything for fun because I didn't know how to have fun in the water. It's just like I have to swim to cook.
I swam too growing up. I was in like the whole swimming lessons and everything. I went all the way up to bronze medallion, and then that was it. So not competitively, but just like the whole lessons and worked my way up and all that. So I could probably save you.
That's a good thing. You know, I can pretend and you can come and save me. I might be known to do something like that.
Right. Exactly. Especially off the beaches in LA, just like.
Water's too cold here.
Is it?
Yeah. You know, people think that the water is going to be beautiful and nice and warm like it is in Hawaii or Mexico. It's cold. The water is cold. I mean, so no, I don't like the beaches here, unfortunately.
No, that's okay.
Beautiful beaches, but water definitely cold.
Definitely cold. But you just put your toes in, then you can say, "Oh, I've been there."
I've been there, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I got to Long Beach before, and I know it was cold.
Yeah, it's the water's cold there. Yeah.
Right. Just as cold as it is up here. But let's get into the real task at hand. The real task at hand. Last time, actually, you know what? Before we really dive into things, I kind of wanted to say thank you so the first time I had Tony on, it was a Tuesday night. So if you guys were with me from the very beginning, my Connected W Cari shows started on Tuesday nights. So then I had Tony come in and we're like, okay, we're getting ready for the interview. And this was like, you know, back in 2020. And now if you guys remember, all with the COVID stuff, a lot of people were doing lives and they were doing Zooms and they were doing whatever. So Tuesday night was not a good night because we could not get our stream off the ground. It like literally took us quite a while. We were like even live for a little bit and then off, whatever. It was just like so much. So then we decided to, you know, Jesse, the owner of Jess FM, and I, we kind of powwowed a little bit and said, hey, like we can have Tony back on, but let's do it on, you know, a night that he's sort of free or whatever. And I was like, why don't we just do a Saturday night? And so Tony actually helped set my career path onto a prime time night. So I have to say thank you.
Or you can also blame me for ruining your date night. So
right. But I still continued Tuesday nights as well after for some time. And then it turned into my Culture Connection show with another host from Chicago, Big Wall. So we had a few seasons of that. And then we ended up having to quit that due to personal reasons. And then I kind of lost my Tuesday night slot, which is okay. But I still kept, obviously, the Saturday night. And then now, once every so often, I'll do like a little podcast in on my Wednesday afternoons. So that's with my Shift Happens show. We do that on a Wednesday afternoon, just a little podcast. So it's not live on air like this show, but it's through our channels, YouTube and Facebook and stuff. So I really, really, really just wanted to say thank you for screwing up. And
you are more than welcome. You know, he said, you ask, I'll be there.
Right. You're like, I'll be there to help you any type of way. So now, did the actors and actresses that you were with have to deal with your lovely sense of humor?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I said, did the lovely actors get to deal with your sense of humor when you guys were on set too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We have any time at all. they know that they're to expect the unexpected. And
Good.
God only knows what kind of crazy stuff might be coming out of me.
Right.
Try to keep things light and keep things, because it's working on a set is very intense, and we were working under extreme time pressure. I mean, stuff that people, never basically do. We shot an entire feature movie, 96 pages script in 12 days, which is pretty unheard of. And it means we had to have every single thing planned out super, super, super duper beforehand. And I told everybody the first day, look, just call me 2-take Tony, because we don't have time to do multiple takes on every setup that we do for the camera, because people who've never been on a movie set don't realize that every scene that you got to have a camera shooting the lead actor, a camera shooting the other actor. If there are other actors in the scene that might have reactions, you want to get their reaction shots. So you have a wide shot, a medium shot, and close up. So you might have 5 or 6 different camera angles in one scene. And that means you can't just do it over and over again. I'm not David Fincher, or, I don't have the kind of money to do those kinds of, do it again, one more time.
You're not the real Tony Scott.
Take Tony. But, that's pretty much the way Clint Eastwood does it too. So I'll take my cues from Mr. Eastwood. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know he did that. But I did, I have seen, which is pretty cool, is some videos on like implosions of buildings, which is very similar, right? So because it's only one take.
You can't screw it up.
You can't, especially if you're using implosions on a movie set.
Yeah, well, luckily we had no explosions or implosions, so we were able to do that. So very little, action scenes. We had one good fight scene was pretty good. But that was also, we had to get the biggest action effectively in one take. I mean, we got the take of one of our actors hitting the other actor in the nose multiple times, but we had to practice ahead of time, make sure there was actually no connecting of nose to fist. So it was, and how to film it exactly so that it looks like it really happened. So into this one scene I was talking about, where we actually have somebody running across the room and jumping on somebody. When it happened, and I'm watching in the monitors off the side of the set. Yeah. And I knew it was coming, and I was like, ah! I thought my actor was going to have his back broken or something when I got out there.
Oh, so my goodness.
It's amazing what magic of movies can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we dive really super deep into the feature film that we're just talking about, I do want the audience to kind of get to know you a little bit. And then I want to talk about Together, because when we first talked, we were talking about your short film, which was called Together. Yep. And we had talked about potentially getting some actors in, like Danny Glover and that. So just so that they kind of get closure on that episode, because I too don't know the final outcome of it. Tony and I were friends on Facebook, and I get to see stuff that he posts up and things here and there. That's why sometimes I'll have guests back, because I see the progression of their, whether it's their music or whether it's a film project or whatever they're working on, and I see the progression. I will say, hey, do you want to come back on? Because it's been so long that people kind of forget what's happened before. And it's like, yeah, you guys are working like so hard on doing all your projects. And I just want people to go, hey, like they may see this in the theater and they're like, oh, I know the guy, he was on Cari's show, right? So I want that personal kind of touch to that. So let's rewind a little bit back to our first interview. And we were talking about a short film that I don't think you had quite finished it. I think you were in the beginning stages of it.
Maybe, yeah. I think we did finish that film. It was a short film of about 16 minutes. And it is effectively minutes, so let's call it 3 through 15 of the feature film. So a producer told me that, I could go and do a film, because I was just a writer at the time. I mean, I came into this late in life after I had a career in the high tech world. I was a consultant to high tech companies, helping build their management teams around the world, bringing in CEOs for startup companies, and got tired of that. Had a midlife crisis, as my wife would say, and decided to go back to film school. And so this producer said I'd had a bunch of scripts that had been optioned, but nothing had been made. And so then this producer said, you should go and take one of your scripts and make something to prove you can do it. And then prove you can, if you want to direct, then this is a great way to prove you can direct something. And take something that maybe you would like to get made as a feature, figure out a way to show it as a proof of concept and a proof of capability. So we did that and basically took out a piece of that feature film that could stand on its own. Had a beginning, middle, and an end. Had to, modify things a little bit to make it fit within a less than 20-minute time frame. But then, hired department heads that were great DP, great editor, great composer, all this stuff to make it run just like a feature film would. And we shot it in 2 days. And that was, again, people going, wow, that's really fast for what you did. Well, thank you. It's about making decisions, not just keeping on hoping we're going to make the next Lawrence of Arabia or whatever.
Right.
And it's so hopefully something better than Carrot Top, but not as great as Lawrence of Arabia. And, basically get great performances out of the actors. And that short was selected to screen in 26 film festivals around the world. And we won major awards in over half of them, including multiple Best Screenplay and multiple Best Film awards, plus awards for Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, Best Producer, a bunch of great stuff.
Yeah.
And so that kind of got us noticed. And so then when we went to actors, and you mentioned Danny Glover was one of the first people we went to. He loved the script, wanted to do it, and then COVID hit. And so us and the rest of the world for the next 3 years were incognito because of that. And then just as things were starting to come back, we had the WGA writers strike and then the actors strike.
Right. I thought about the actors strike.
One after another. So it was like, oh my God. Thank you very much, y'all. Appreciate it. But finally we got to the point where we could get close, and we decided, we're going to make it, and we're going to make it this past summer. We're not going to just wait around anymore till everything's perfect again. We've got enough money to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, or fortunately, and this depends on how you think about it, but Danny had other conflicts at that time. Jane Seymour, who was another person who we were going to use, was now shooting a TV series in Ireland. So it was like, okay, you guys can't make it. We're moving on. We're doing it, whether you're here or not. So we got Dennis Haysbert, who you may know if you ever watched the TV show 24. He played the president.
Yeah.
He also, I think, was Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate commercials and stuff. He's on Major League 1 and 2. He played the Cuban pitcher that does voodoo Santeria stuff before the games. Great actor, great image. And it was like, oh, Mr. President's on the set, basically. Isn't
that funny how, when you get, casted, you almost become typecasted, and then it's like, oh, then you're just, the president. It's like there's a TV series, it's called The Oval.
Yeah.
And it's on BET. They don't have it up here in Canada anymore, but I used to watch it, and it was like when you see that actor somewhere else on a show, then you're like, oh, it's the president.
Exactly, yeah. And he had this big stature and deep, serious voice, and and he's a great guy, just a great guy and great actor. And so he's in, and then we have Marilu Henner, who you may remember from the TV show Taxi, who also, a little bit of bits about Marilu Henner is she was accepted into the University of Chicago, which is not a slouchy university, at 15. Wow. And she took off in the middle of her school. She did finish, but she took off in the middle of her school to help create this little stage musical called Grease.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a little something.
That's a little something there. And then, when later on in her career, the Broadway musical Chicago, when Anne Reinking, who originated the role Roxy in Chicago, decided to quit the show after being in a couple of years, she went on and took on that role for 400 performances. So, and she's in Dancing with the Stars. And I have video of me dancing with her at Latin disco night at the hotel. Thank you very much. I just like, basically, as I said, I stood there, did my white boy shuffle, and let Marilu dance around me.
Are you going to audition for the next Dancing with the Stars?
I don't think so. That would probably not be in my wheelhouse. But unless Marilu just wants to use me as her post, to dance around, because look, she's amazing. So she did a fantastic job. We have Joe Pantoliano, Joey Pants, who is in The Sopranos. If you go way back, my first time I ever saw him was in Risky Business, where he played Guido, the killer pimp. Great role, hilarious, great actor, really amazing. He's also in The Last of Us, was nominated for an Emmy for that one most recently. And then Telma Hopkins, who was originally a singer, and she was a Motown singer. And then she was, if there's a famous singer called Tony Orlando, and Tony Orlando is called Rica Rican. And he had this song titled Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree and Knocked 3 times and so on. And they had a TV variety show. And it was Tony Orlando and Dawn. So she was one half of Dawn. And then she went on to all sorts of other TV roles, and, comic stuff. But for me, the most famous thing is that as a singer on the theme from Shaft, the original one with Isaac Hayes did, when Isaac sings, they say that John Shaft is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. That is Telma Hopkins.
Oh, the famous "Shut your mouth."
Shut your mouth. That's right. So there you go. So I'm like, I was going to make her say it in the movie, but she didn't. I didn't.
You could have done a score at the end of it in the credits and had her just
shut your mouth. Yeah. There you go. So, but she's great too, and she's amazing and beautiful, and so I have these. I mean, honestly, two of the most beautiful older actresses, older meaning they're over 60 years old, actresses out there in this movie. They all four of the lead cast did a great job. And then I've got this guy, Lawrence St. Victor, who is on Young and Restless. And if you look him up, you'll see why I cast him to play me.
Needless to say, he is a handsome young man.
Together is basically the story of my own family. And this guy is like freaking Greek god. And so we have him, and we have Asha Davis, and we have a guy that plays the prince on a bunch of shows for Lifetime and Disney and all sorts of stuff. Jonathan Stoddard, who's actually shooting a series up in Canada all the time now. So there you go. So we had a great cast. People all came in they came in to do this at below their regular, normal kind of ask, because we couldn't afford it any other way, but also because they really loved the story. And it was about something that every single person in the cast and the crew, most of the crew, had something that was an experience in their own family that they could relate to. Yeah. So that was really nice that people came and they gave it their all because of that. It wasn't just a job.
Mm-hmm. So, I love when, there's a story that can touch your heart, and that's it. Like, you just want to portray that, and you want to do that because you know the feelings, and this can help somebody, or it's a story that's so close to them. Maybe it will bring them closure, or it will help them just, whatever type of a way that can help them. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to be able to do. And again, there are so many kind people out there in the movie industry that are the same. Like, they'll go to charity events, or they'll do all these different things, and they just want to do it because it's fun, and also they're working with amazing people, but also it's just something close to their heart. So should we play a couple minutes of Together?
Sure, if you'd like, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a favorite spot that maybe I can bring it to?
Ooh, I don't have the exact
Okay.
film memorized
Not exactly memorized. 15 minutes.
in terms of the cues.
Okay. Why don't we play the intro a bit?
How about this? I would suggest you start at around 2 minutes in.
Okay.
Yeah, around there is good.
Here's good. Okay.
We can ride camels across the Sahara Desert.
Camels. It sounds really smelly. What about Paris? It's so romantic and has fabulous restaurants and great museum and the
And we'll be
shopping.
trying to get into those places with about 1 million other tourists. Hey, I got something. Look, why don't we mark the places that we're each interested in, and then we'll figure it out together.
Sounds great. Hey, you want to go to the Esquire tonight? They're showing Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Again? Well, you've only seen that about 100 times.
So what? I went with you last week to see On the Waterfront. At least this is fun and happy.
Happy. Do you know what happens to Butch and Sundance at the end?
They escaped and traveled the world together, just like you and I are going to do.
Oh, well, I love your optimism.
You know, Butch and Sundance will always figure it out. They're great partners.
That they were. Through thick and thin, until the very end. And in their case, it was a very bitter end.
Carver.
Okay.
Ella, where's my mug?
Carver, if your head wasn't bolted on, I swear you'd lose it. Drying in the dishwasher, the same place I put it every day. Car? Car?
Ella? 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 Oh, Ella, come on. Talk to me, Ella. Talk to me. Oh, damn.
Excuse me. Hey, I'm looking for Ella Sam's room, please.
Let me look her up.
It's ELLASAM.
I got it. She's in room 232.
Dr. Freeman, please dial 300. Dr. Freeman, dial 300.
Thanks for flying in so fast.
Of course.
How is she?
Her whole left side is paralyzed and she's really confused.
Hi, Mama.
Oh. Oh.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to intrude, but we need to talk.
The next 1 minute will give us the entire setup of the feature film.
Okay. Because I don't want to spoil it too much.
No. This is we're not going to give away the endings.
Okay.
But this is the setup. This is the inciting incident.
Okay.
This is Dr. Guyton, one of the best cardiac surgeons in the country. Dr. Guyton, this is Mrs. Sam's husband, Carver, and their children.
I wish we were meeting under other circumstances. Let's talk inside.
Okay, well, we've determined that Mrs. Sam's has an aortic dissection. It's a tear in the large blood vessel that leads from the heart to the brain. Blood is gushing out through the tear and not enough is getting to the brain.
How does something like that happen?
We may never know. Some people just have a genetic predisposition. The interior lining of the aorta weakens over time and eventually the outer layer tears.
She never had signs like of this before.
Aortic dissections usually don't show warning signs. When they do happen, it's very fast.
Can you fix it?
Maybe. The operation's risky with the 50-50 chance of success at best.
Well, if the operation works, she'll be back to normal, right?
Mr. Sands, your wife has already suffered irreversible brain damage. And even if the operation is successful, Ella will be paralyzed and severely mentally impaired. And she will need 24-hour care for the rest of her life.
But if you don't operate?
She has a 10% probability of mortality per hour. Ultimately, she will lose consciousness and pass away peacefully. She will be gone in the next 24 hours.
Oh my God. Dad.
Now, we were just about to perform a quadruple bypass on another patient. We can pull him off the table and put Mrs. Sams in his place if you want to operate. But we're going to need a decision in the next 10 minutes.
Wait, Doc. If this was your mother, what would you do?
If it was my mom, I don't think I'd do it.
Look, I'm so sorry, but we will need to know your decision immediately. We'll be waiting outside.
Okay, cut now.
Okay. Oh, suspenseful.
That's exactly as it actually happened in real life, by the way.
Yeah.
This is my family's situation. And it was exactly like that. And the surgeon said, you have 10 minutes to make a decision. And life-changing decision. And things happen in the blink of an eye. What's the whole point of this? Is that, my dad was off going to warm up his coffee, comes back, my mom sprawled on the floor. And then you have to decide right now, are you going to have this incredible operation that might save her life, but is going to leave her mentally and physically seriously impaired, and she's got to live in a nursing home the rest of her life, or you let her pass away peacefully. So it's a big momentous decision for anybody. And then beyond that, it's what happens after that is what this story is really all about.
Yeah.
Because people forget that the spouses who become caregivers or surviving spouses, family, they're left alone, and they are still need human companionship. They need to have interaction with people. They need, their lives to continue. Mm-hmm. And this ultimately is about the devotion and love that both have for each other. And there's another couple that comes in that has a similar issue, not the same thing, but they have the same thing going on, and how people bond and create the family you choose as opposed to the family you're born into, if you would, and how people support each other in that way, and which is why it's called higher love, because that is the highest love, and we show love for one another. Love others as we would want to be loved. That is showing the same sort of love that almost in every religion says is how God wants us to love one another, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not a faith-based movie. I don't want people to get that idea,
No.
but it has elements of faith and of moral issues and moral quandaries.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's definitely something of a moral dilemma for sure. And it's, I suggest that people do watch this and have a discussion, because
Please.
what if this happens to yourself, or it happens to, if you have a family member that is aging, whatever it may be, what would you do in this situation, right? Have that serious, very serious
before anything happens, because in the moment, emotions are all over the place. It's confusing. It's very difficult, and people don't make clear decisions under those circumstances. So unfortunately, in real life, we have way too many times when we don't have a lot of time to make decisions like that, and it helps if people understand what each other's goals and how they would want to live or not live would be. And that was part of the purpose of my making that short film in the first place. And part of the reason writing the screenplay in the first place was because I'd gone through a lot of this. And then I was like, well, what if certain things happened after that? Sort of what the direction would be beyond that. So, but also in that short film, as you might have noticed, I had to actually cast my friend Jason Olive, the world's first male supermodel, to play me. No. Just
happened too.
Just saying. I mean, I'm sure you can see the resemblance, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all right there.
Obvious, right?
Obvious.
Yeah.
So cute. No, I think, when we have that type of, whatever we've been through our life, and if we can share that out and definitely make it into a discussion, or, have people think on it, like, what did we do and what did we do and what did they do? Right. So it's one of those things where, it is, again, really up for discussion. And it's one of those things where you can have a podcast on it. You can do a radio show on it. You can actually have a live panel and have a conference on these types of topics, because they're so important and they're often overlooked. Quite frequently. Yeah, absolutely. Because again, like you said, it could be like a blink of an eye, and it doesn't matter for age. It really doesn't. This can happen any age.
Socioeconomic status, it can affect anybody, anywhere, at any time. It's truly a universal story, a universal issue, and what we all as humans, unfortunately, have to be ready to face.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Thank you for, letting us be able to share that little bit. I know Tony actually sent that to me a long time ago. And as soon as he sent it and I clicked on the link, I was like, oh yes, I remember this. And then I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of people come up to us. I say we, I'm talking about the filmmaking team at various film festivals, and thank us for bringing up a topic like this and getting people to think about it and have an opportunity to talk to their loved ones in a way that, because it spikes the conversation. It's really hard to have these conversations just out of the blue. Well, so Dad, if you were ever, had mental impairment, should I just pull the plug on you or what? It's not. It doesn't work.
Just slide over a checklist. Be like, this is the end of the road checklist, so we're just handing this over to you.
The point is it okay for me to pull the plug? Yeah. So I mean, it's better to have something else that helps spark a conversation,
right?
And to really make sure when your family members understand what everybody really wants, would want the most. I mean, so I thought I knew what my mom wanted, but maybe I was wrong,
Yeah,
so
you never know. Also, it helps people to really do some research on the, what does pulling the plug actually mean? I know there's MAID out there now as well, the medical assistants. So there's all these kind of variety of things. And then, or, if they decide, okay, we're not pulling the plug, but we're going to keep them around because we want to see them, we love them. But are they suffering on the other side?
And that's
What
the
are
thing.
the,
A lot of times
look into
people
that.
their guilt, and they're making decisions that's for themselves, not for the
The
person.
other person, right?
So
Yeah. So these are, again, do some research, have those conversations with friends, family, whoever. Even if you're the caregiver, talk to the other person, say, hey, what are your wishes in case this time comes? And again, it can be a very moral dilemma. I know I myself actually was very blessed to be able to take care of someone for a short time. She was 94 years old. And ideally, I was sent to her to just kind of help with cleaning her house and whatever. Then she's like, I don't want you cleaning anymore. I need your help. We're going to go. And she wanted to like get her nails done. And she wanted, appointments to the doctor and whatever it was, all these things. We even got to share a banana split that she had never had in her lifetime.
oh my gosh, that's great.
Right. All these cool, and a pedicure, manicure she's never had in her life. So all these wonderful things. And I knew what her final wishes were when it came time. And I had very frequently, almost every day, I was visiting her in the hospital when it was kind of close to the end. And it was hard. It was very hard to see, but I knew like her age and I knew what was happening. And I was like, okay, but in my heart and morally, I was like, okay, her wishes were just to kind of be there at the moment. And then she was, asking me, like, she wanted to be medically assisted. And I was more on the other side. But, again, it's kind of like it's their wishes.
Exactly.
Right. So she had just really kind of asked me for her blessing and said, don't be mad at me for any of these situations, whatever I choose. And I was like, okay. And she was also a little bit on the fence too. However, I believe it was like her kidneys were failing and I think her liver was failing. Like it was so fast. So I don't think there was even kind of a time to have a decision on that. So, but anyway, as God was so gracious to me, it was in October and I had to warm up my vehicle and sweep off the snow. Thank you, Calgary Snow, in this situation. I was running a little bit late. I actually was on the phone to her brother saying, I'm going to run to the hospital, visit her, say hi, I'll say hi for you. And when I got there, she had passed away only like 15 minutes prior to. And so it was just like warming the car up and sweeping whatever. And so I was like, okay. So I got to go into the room and say my goodbyes to her. And, it wasn't to her, but,
I'm sorry for your loss. She sounds like
so,
amazing.
yeah. And anyway, but I just like, these are the things like I remember we had so much fun and she was an amazing person and vibrant and everything. So what do we want to remember, right? Do we want to remember the good times? Do we want to remember some suffering? What are the intentions behind this? And really just dive deep down and be like, what are their wishes? And because it's truly their happiness and what they want. And that's my own personal story that I had to deal with. And I just think of it, all the beautiful moments that we had together. And that's just makes me shine every time. So,
look, I do also know that this is not just a downer movie. It's actually a very positive movie.
Yeah.
It's about some heavy stuff in the beginning, but the movie itself has humor. It has some lighthearted moments, and it's real life. It's not, it's just, so there's some, definitely it's not just sugar coated where everything is all hunky dory and happy and, glitter dust and unicorns. It's reality. And the reality is in this situation, the real situation, there is that choice that the family has to make. There is no good outcome.
No.
If you operate and if it's a success, she may be alive, but she's going to be, in a nursing home the rest of her life, and she's going to be physically impaired and mentally impaired. You don't operate, she's dead within 24 hours. So there's no good, perfect, easy outcome.
No.
And reality is most of life is like that. There's always choices we have to make, and there's always positives and negatives to almost every choice that we make. And whether that's on small things or big things. So hopefully that's sort of the message of the movie, and also that life is worth living if you love one another and you have the love of your spouse and your family and your friends. This is the greatest thing in the world.
Right. Make memories and have fun and do all the good things. And because that's, in the end, that's what you want to remember.
And that's what you want for your spouse too. The person you're the person you care for the most in life, you want them to be able to live a life. You don't want them to be trapped with you as a boat anchor around them. It's they actually want, my own father with my mom, we had to basically, he's a big baseball fan, and I had to go and give him tickets. Was when I lived in Northern California. I bought tickets to when the Chicago White Sox came out to play the Oakland A's, 5 games stand in Oakland. And I bought tickets for 5 games. I came home, and that was his birthday present. He opens the card. Oh my God, and said, "Yep, you have to come out." And my sister said, "Yeah, don't worry, Dad. I'll take care of Mom. Make sure Mom is okay." But for the first 2 days, especially, he was so racked up with guilt and worry and blah, 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 because he was coming in to see her every day. And all of a sudden, that was the first time. And so he had a job he had to do, which was to take care of her, even though she's in the nursing home. That was his responsibility. But it was tearing him apart, not having any kind of other outside stimulation. And his entire life had just been collapsed into this very not really that positive of a world. So it's important for people to remember that if you really care for somebody, you want them to have happiness too.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to end on that note. So Higher Love is a feature film. When are we going to be able to see it on the big silver screen?
It'll be next year. We're finishing up post-production right now. And one of the songs that we're going to be using in the movie goes into public domain on January 1st because anyway, songs have
copyrights and whatever
years, whatever. So we want to make sure we do that. So we have to pay a bunch of money for it, hopefully.
Right. All the royalties.
It does come down to money, and then it's going to depend upon which distributor decides that they want it the most and how that slots in with other things that they have and other distributors have on their calendar. It might be a great. I mean, I don't think it'll happen this fast, but it could be a
Valentine's.
Valentine's, yeah, it could be a very good Valentine's movie. It could be a good one at Thanksgiving because we have the whole movie actually ends at Thanksgiving. American Thanksgiving, not the Canadian one where you guys are giving thanks for not.
We're like, we had our gobble gobble, your gobble gobble's coming up, but ours is done.
You guys are just giving thanks for not being part of the United States. I understand that.
We are thankful for the snow. Amen.
We're thankful for your back bacon and your Molsons. It's okay.
Right. It's okay. Exactly. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And then maybe when it actually gets to the theater.
Would love to come back again.
Can I be back? Maybe we'll try if some of the cast is available.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure I can get some of the cast to come on with me too.
We could do a cast party.
Yeah. I mean, Marilu Henner, by the way, is hilarious on this, and also because she has a memory. She literally, you can ask her what happened on such and such a date any year that she was born and more than like 3 years old. She can tell you exactly what was happening to her on that time. She has a memory. She literally cannot forget anything.
Amazing.
And she's a very interesting person. So
very cool.
Really.
I hate to cut us short, but this is we have another show after, but we will catch up and we're going to do all the things and it'll be so fun. Thank you for coming on, sharing this beautiful story. And again, what is it called? Higher Love will hopefully be out. Let's hope around February, like for Valentine's Day. It's kind of sweet.
Please go to the theaters and see it, especially
people
who want to see movies that are about something, not superheroes, real heroes, not superheroes, go to the theater and see this.
Tag us if you do see it, and then let us know how it went, because we want to know. Maybe we'll have some reviews on whatever.
We want more of those movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tony, for coming on. You're
Thank you.
amazing. Keep doing amazing work. Keep doing God's work, as they say, right? Well, I can't wait to see what you have up your sleeve for the next thing, but we'll chat soon. And thank you again so very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And with that, I hate to always cut these interviews short, but there is another show after ours. Thank you guys for coming in, being connected with Cari here this evening on JessTV, Jess FM, Underground Radio C. Go in and watch the replay if you missed part of this. Especially go watch like the together a little bit. Oh my goodness, you guys, your hearts are going to melt. With that, hopefully you will catch Higher Love that will be coming out next year. Let's hope Valentine's Day, who knows, we'll see. With that, hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather here in Calgary. Make sure you guys stay connected. Good night.